You are living a life filled with failure. That's the truth. Look in the mirror and admit that you've never been strong enough to face challenges. You remain passive in the face of difficulties, allowing them to extinguish your willpower, then justifying your weakness with countless shallow excuses. Ask yourself, how long do you want to continue living like this? Each time you fail, you sink into self-pity, believing everything is unfair. But the truth is, you're not defeated by the world. You're defeated by yourself. You cannot control your emotions, allowing fear and insecurity to ruin all your potential. You want to change, yet you're afraid of that change. You cling to weakness, avoiding the harsh truth that all your failures stem from yourself. Wake up. No one will save you except yourself. Don't let another day go by without making a firm decision to change drastically. The question is, do you have the courage to do it, or will you continue to drown in failure forever? Let's build a community of kindness by subscribing to Stoicism for Success right now and sharing it with those you wish to see live with kindness and strength like us. Let's spread these positive values together. Whenever we face obstacles, most of us react by complaining, grumbling, or finding ways to avoid them. We are haunted by a sense of injustice, viewing challenges as enemies. But if you think carefully, you'll realize that obstacles are disguised opportunities, chances to learn, grow, and become stronger. Only the weak see difficulties as obstacles, while the strong turn them into motivation to move forward. Take Thomas Edison, for example, who failed thousands of times in his attempt to invent the light bulb. An ordinary person might have given up after the first few failures, but Edison didn't see each failure as a barrier. Instead, he viewed them as opportunities to improve and learn valuable lessons. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each failure was a step toward success for Edison because he knew that every difficulty was an opportunity to learn and progress. Those who view obstacles as enemies will never overcome them. They get stuck in a loop of failure and regret, never realizing that these very challenges are the keys to their growth. Look at successful people. They aren't without difficulties, but they know how to turn every obstacle into an opportunity. These challenges have trained them in patience, resilience, and creativity. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that obstacles are not what stop you, but what push you to the limit, forcing you to grow. Instead of fearing and avoiding them, embrace challenges as valuable opportunities to progress further on your path. Life is a continuous flow, ever-changing, with each passing day a testament to its impermanence. People often fear change, cling to what is familiar, and wish for things to remain stable. However, if you don't learn to accept impermanence, you will forever live in fear and anxiety. Look at life's critical stages. From childhood, we grow up, mature, and eventually face aging. You cannot stop time, nor can you hold on to beautiful moments forever. By accepting this truth, you will no longer worry about what's lost and will instead know to cherish the present. In daily life, impermanence can mean losing a beloved job. Initially, many people feel disappointed, fearful of the future, but gradually they realize that loss opens new doors. They find a new job, often better, or discover creativity and entrepreneurship. Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple, was once fired from the very company he created. However, he didn't retreat in the face of this change, but turned it into an opportunity to grow and innovate even further. Impermanence is an inseparable part of life. When you accept this, you'll suffer less when facing loss and instead find peace. The key is not to try to control everything, but to learn to embrace change with calmness. It is this impermanence that helps us grow, improve ourselves, and live a more fulfilling life. You might worry about an important meeting next week. Your imagination begins to visualize all the worst possibilities, criticism from your boss, lack of support from colleagues, or rejection of your plan. But will those things actually happen? The answer is usually no. The meeting might go well, and your worries are likely unnecessary. Most of the pain we feel doesn't come from reality, but from our own imagination. We tend to exaggerate our fears, worrying about things that haven't happened, causing unnecessary stress and anxiety. Instead of living in the present, we are drawn into a dreadful vision of the future, bearing imaginary pains that often never come to pass. Imagine someone about to give a presentation. Instead of focusing on preparation, they become overwhelmed by a fear of failure. They imagine all the worst scenarios, forgetting their lines, being ridiculed by the audience, or even feeling humiliated. All these worries are products of their imagination. But in reality, most of these things don't happen. When it comes time to present, things often go more smoothly than imagined. This shows that the greatest pain doesn't come from the actual situation, but from the negative scenarios we create ourselves. Therefore, instead of letting your imagination control and scare you, focus on the present. Address what's in front of you, prepare, and take action. When you live in the present, you'll realize that most of the pain you imagine is baseless, and you'll feel free and lighter. Life is full of situations beyond our control: loss, failure, or broken relationships. Instead of accepting and moving on, we often cling to the pain, trying to control what is already out of reach. This is the source of suffering and disappointment. Mastering the art of letting go doesn't mean avoiding responsibility, but accepting that there are things we cannot change and shouldn't let them affect our happiness. An essential part of growth is the ability to reflect and learn from yourself. Practicing daily reflection allows you to pause, review what happened during the day, and evaluate your actions and emotions. This is not self-blame, but a chance to recognize what you did well and what needs improvement. It is a tool for self-adjustment, character building, and sustainable development. You may have gone through painful breakups. Instead of learning to let go for a better future with ideal relationships, you keep thinking about it, looking for reasons or ways to reconnect. However, the more you cling, the more you get trapped in that pain. When you accept that the relationship has ended, you can move toward better things and feel relieved, freed. But the process of overcoming pain doesn't happen overnight. Imagine spending a few minutes each evening to sit down and write in your journal about the day's experiences. You might notice that you overreacted in a stressful situation or missed an opportunity due to fear of failure. Through daily reflection, you will gain clearer insights into yourself and draw valuable lessons to improve in the future. This not only helps you correct mistakes, but also celebrates successes, motivating you to live with purpose and direction. Each day is an opportunity for self-improvement, and this practice is the best way to keep progressing. Let's come together to support our community. If you are a kind person, please hit the like button on this video and leave some energetic comments to spread positive vibes. Together, we can make a difference. In this ever-changing life, finding inner peace becomes extremely valuable. Many people think that peace comes from having everything perfect around them: a stable job, good relationships, or solid financial security. However, the truth is that inner peace only comes when you learn to accept and master yourself, even in the toughest circumstances. Practicing meditation and prayer are effective ways to nourish the soul, helping you connect deeply with yourself and find calm. Meditation helps you calm your mind, detach from the distractions of the outside world, and listen to your inner voice. Prayer, regardless of religion, is a way for people to seek peace through faith, helping you let go of things beyond your control. When you learn to accept that there are things you cannot change, you will no longer be haunted by them. Instead, you will focus on positive things, deeper values in life. Many troubles in life are actually self-created. Have you ever noticed that Many times, we make things harder for ourselves over trivial issues. Small situations like being stuck in traffic, a colleague's insensitive comment, or even bad weather can irritate us if we don't know how to control our emotions. This clearly shows that troubles don't always come from the outside. They mostly stem from our reactions. Focusing on what truly matters helps us avoid a lot of unnecessary troubles. Instead of getting caught up in minor issues, we should focus on greater goals, core values in life like love, harmony in family, and work. When you focus on positive things, you'll realize that daily annoyances are merely fabricated problems we create ourselves. Your mood doesn't necessarily have to be affected by trivial things. Life becomes lighter when we learn to let go of minor annoyances and focus on what really has meaning. Inner peace doesn't come from avoiding troubles, but from the ability to face them calmly and confidently. In life, no one can avoid difficulties and challenges. However, what differentiates successful people from unsuccessful ones is the ability to endure and overcome those hardships. This ability is not something that comes naturally. It must be cultivated through setbacks and facing tough situations. Every challenge you overcome is a step forward in developing resilience, making you stronger for the future. Imagine you are facing a difficult situation at work or in your personal life. You might feel you can't bear it anymore and want to give up. But instead of backing down, consider this difficulty an opportunity to train your endurance. Challenges are tests for your mental strength. The more challenges you face, the better you understand your limits and how to surpass them. As the saying goes, fire tests gold, adversity tests strength. Those who develop endurance through hardships become resilient and confident, for they have learned how to control their emotions and overcome psychological barriers. In today's modern life, we often focus only on the final outcome, ignoring the importance of the process. However, what truly matters is not just achieving the result, but how you achieve it. Focusing on the process helps you improve your skills, develop your mindset, and learn from each step. If you only focus on the outcome, you may feel pressured and anxious, leading to rushed and poorly considered decisions. For example, when you set a goal to learn a new skill, instead of only thinking about becoming an expert in that field, focus on the small steps to improve every day. Mastery doesn't come from quick results. It comes from persistent and consistent effort in refining your approach. When you pay attention to the process, you will find joy in small progress, which reduces pressure and motivates you to keep working hard. In summary, focusing on the method rather than the end result not only helps you achieve your goals sustainably, but also lets you enjoy the journey, filled with valuable lessons. We often encounter situations that provoke intense emotions, but letting emotions dictate decisions can lead to negative consequences. When decisions are based on temporary feelings like anger, sadness, or fear, you are more likely to make avoidable mistakes, making the situation worse. On the other hand, when you prioritize rational thinking, you can stay calm and make more reasonable, effective decisions. Imagine a situation at work where you are criticized. Your first reaction might be anger or hurt, and you may want to respond immediately. However, if you let your emotions take over, you might say things you shouldn't, worsening the situation. Instead, if you pause, take a deep breath, and view the situation rationally, you'll realize that staying calm and thinking carefully will lead to a better solution. Making decisions based on reason doesn't mean ignoring emotions. It means learning to control them. Reason helps you view issues objectively, analyze the pros and cons, and choose the best solution. This way, you not only handle the problem effectively, but also maintain peace and control in every situation. To achieve a positive and strong life, you need to learn to see obstacles as opportunities for growth, rather than fear or avoidance. Accept impermanence, for life always changes, and inner peace will come when you know how to let go of things beyond your control. Don't create troubles from trivial, unimportant issues. Instead, focus on core values in life. Developing endurance through hardships is a way to train mental strength. Focus on the process rather than the final result, for a correct approach will lead to sustainable success. Prioritize reason over emotions in every situation, helping you make wise decisions and remain calm. Daily reflection is a method for learning, improving, and continually progressing. All these combined will help you build a stable, peaceful, and meaningful life. Thank you for watching this video. Let's support our wonderful community by hitting subscribe and turning on notifications right now. Show everyone that you're living kindly by liking the video and sharing your experiences in the comments. Take action now to spread positive energy.